Hi all, welcome to session 9 of our Milestone Project. And so far we have completed 3 out of 7 tasks. Okay, so in this session we are going to focus on the fourth task, that is filter sales orders per region. Okay, so here it is very simple. You have to filter your sales orders according to the region from which they have been created. Okay, so if I go to my orders file, you will have a region column. So if you see, column O is the region column, and based on that you have to filter the orders and you have to get the count. So how many orders were created from which region, that is what we are trying to get from this activity. Okay, now since if you just apply filter, you have four regions. Okay, so we will have four variables, each variable will hold one region count. Okay, now let me go to my data factory studio from portal.azure.com. Fine. So I'm going into my data factory resource group. First things first, I have to start my virtual machine because that is going to give me the data, because my SFTP location is hosted on this VM. So I have to start this VM. In the meantime, let me open my WinSCP tool from where I am going to log into my VM. Let's wait for a couple of seconds. Our VM will start. In the meantime, let me go to my data lake and perform some cleanup activity. In the containers, I want to go to sync, and in the sync I have this file. I'm going to remove this file. Let me come back. Okay, my virtual machine is now up. I'm going to log in now. Project admin and my password. Fine. So today is 2nd of May and this file is of 30th of April. Let me just rename this file. I'm simply going to change the timestamp from 0430 to 0501. Okay, now I am ready to ingest this file. I am now going to go to my data factory and start working on my modification. So till session 8 we have worked on milestone 1 pipeline. I'm going to continue. So far what we have done, we have checked for the lookup, and if the file exists in the lookup location, we are going to proceed. Okay, so from here we are going to start our new task. I'm simply going to add a filter activity. And I'm going to name it filter order counts for east. Okay, similarly I'm going to copy and create three more. Okay, so I'm going to connect all of them from our until, and I'm going to rename them. So instead of east, it is going to be west, then the third one will be north, and fourth will be south. Fine. Now it is looking a little messy, so I'm going to auto align everything and center it. So this is how our pipeline is looking. Now, after doing filter, we are going to store the output in a variable. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable, and I'm going to name it order count, and this variable is going to be of array type. Reason, because it is going to hold four values, one for each direction: east, west, north, and south. Now let me just make it a little bit bigger so that it is much easier for me to work. In the east, I'm going to start working on the condition. So input array on which the filter should be applied. Okay. Okay, so I think I have to add one more activity here. Let me remove these four connectors and add a lookup activity. So the flow will be like this: auto align, okay. Now everything is looking perfect. Cool. As you know that we have already copied the file here in our data lake, so we are going to use the file that we have put in our data lake for this lookup activity. Okay, so in the settings, I'm going to use my lookup. I'm going to use my data lake dataset, and in this, I'm going to use sync variable output, and for the name of the file, I'm going to use the expression. So, what expression? The expression that we have created while doing the copy activity development. So, it was like at the rate concat orders underscore, then in variables you have ingestion date, comma, dot csv. So this should give us the file that we should ingest. I'm going to remove the first row because I need all the data. Remember, in our one of the sessions where we were discussing the lookup, it can only get at max 4000 records or 2 MB of data. So let me see how many records are there. Okay, there are way too much data, but let's see what happens. I think we will only get 4000. Yeah, we will only get 4000, but still that should work. So let me deactivate all of them. For now I am only focused on lookup, so I am not interested in filter activities. I am deactivating them. lookup orders file, and let's do the debug. 22, username is going to be project admin slash home slash project admin. ADLS container will be sync variable. Output is going to be my destination in sync. Let's see what happens. First two activities are done. Third activity is also done. Okay, so it has correctly picked the time, sorry, date. It is taking way longer than expected. Let me try one more time. I'm canceling my debug. Okay, in the meantime, let's work on the filters. Yeah, net is also fine. No problem. Let me just publish this because I don't want to lose my changes. And let me try to trigger the pipeline instead of putting it on debug mode. Twenty-two project admin slash home slash project admin sync variable output. Now let's see what happens. I'm not triggering master pipeline because that is not needed as of now. Yeah, so if you see here, it is working. I don't know why it was not working in the debug mode. So order file size was around 2 MB. Integration runtime, let me see. Auto resolve seeded status. We will come to monitoring as well, but right now let me focus on building the pipeline. Okay, I'm pausing the video. I will start the video once this copy activity gets successful. It is taking some time. I don't know why it is taking this much time. It should be done in a minute or so, but I will keep you. Okay, I think it is done. Let me, yeah, check for lookup file. Okay, so our data has been copied. Let me go to my containers and in sync variable output. Yes, I am now seeing the data. Let's see whether we have lookup file or not. If not, we have to put lookup file in our source location. Lookup file, yes, we have lookup.csv. Now it's our lookup orders file. So now let's see whether we are getting complete data or we are getting only first 4000 rows. Our pipeline has executed. Let me see the output of our lookup orders file. As you can see, we got first 5000 records. Okay, and we are getting values also. Fine, I think that should suffice for our demo. So here I'm going to, so these kind of filter activities and everything we generally do using a transformation service like our Databricks or Synapse or something like that. But for sake of understanding, I'm including filter here. Okay, so I'm going to remove the deactivated status from these four filter activities. Okay, and I'm going to go and use the data that we have got from our lookup activity. So lookup order files count. I think this is the name of the activity, but let me just confirm. Lookup order files. Yeah. So I'm going to use array, the value that we have got from this particular lookup. So lookup order files return value. This is going to be our input to the items. Lookup order files value array. Okay. Now in the conditions, what we have to do is for the current item, we have to check whether item region is east, south, west, or central. Okay, so I'm going for east now. Just focus on the expression the way I'm creating. Dot, you have to keep in mind the name should be exactly matching with the name that you have in your lookup file. So it's going to be region, and I'm going to say equals. comma east. East should also match with the value east that you have in this file. So east. Okay, I am copying it just for sake of simplicity. This is for east. Again, you have to pass the value, the array here. This array is coming from the lookup, and you have to pass the filter criteria in the condition. So you have west, then I think there is central and south. Central and south. Okay, let me rename north to central. Central, central. Oops, I made a mistake. Let me go to condition and do that. Central, and I'm going to fill items with the array. Lookup file value array. Similarly, I'm going to do this for south also. So here it will be array, and in the condition we will have south. Done. Let me publish. So it is going to take first 5,000 records from the lookup activity. So we have more than, I think, 90,000 odd records. Yeah, 9,000, sorry, 9,426 records, and we are going to use first 5,000, and out of 5,000 it is going to divide the data based on the region. Okay, now let's try to run the pipeline again. So I'm going to trigger now. So it is project admin, sync variable output. Let's try. Okay, your pipeline has triggered. This time you can see it is little faster. Last time it was taking a lot of time on each activity. Last time I think copy activity took around 1 minute, but this time it was less than, I think, 20 seconds. Yeah. So this way you can monitor how efficiently we can monitor. I will also explain, but right now just make sure that you are able to see and understand this user interface. So every activity that is currently getting executed will be marked by blue. If it is queued or in process, it will be marked by blue. In case you cancel, it will be grayed out. Otherwise, if it is successful, it will be green, or if failing, it is going to be in red. Okay, so just make sure you have this much understanding. And once we are done with our like important concepts of developing an Azure Data Factory, we will come to this. Okay, let's wait. What happened? It went till here, but after that it didn't. Why so? Let me go back. In the development, we have lookup. Let's wait. I think it should trigger the lookup and filter. There is absolutely no reason. Yeah. So it has triggered. Okay. So we got our lookup data from the lookup orders file. It was 5,000. And then we got individuals. If you see, out of 5,000, we had 1,512 orders from central. Then we had around 1,377 from west. We had 678 from south, and we had 1,249 from east. Okay, so this way you can filter the data from the lookup and get the data into your respective filter activities. Okay, now we are going to build on top of what we have done here in the next session, and that will be our next task. Combine all the order numbers per region. Okay, so we are going to do that in our next session. So that was all. I think it is this session was a little longer because of some hiccups with the idea that I have faced, but I hope you got the idea how we can do the filter activity and lookup in our data factory and how it is being used in our real life scenario. Okay, so filter sales order per region is done, so that is going to complete our fourth task. And we also use the filter activity. So in our pipeline, we have now used more than 50% of what we have covered in our explanations. Whatever activities we have explained, we have covered 50% of that in this milestone project. Now, in the next session, we are going to take whatever is remaining, whatever activities are remaining, we will take a look at that. Okay. So that was all. Thank you so much for joining. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel. And please provide your feedback in the comment section. Thank you so much.